Hey, welcome back to part 3 of our communication skills and the problems with communication. We are still in the middle of the series, Anger Management or the Journey to the Other Side of Bitterness. And I have, in the middle of this, is putting a communication skills practice together or education together so that we could correct some of our communication problems, which in turn will help us with things that has caused us to be angry or angry at others. So let's continue. Please go back in the last 2 weeks and look at communication part 1, part 2, and now we got a part 3. Now today we're going to talk about the issue of encoding. Last week we talked about that sender should be slow to send the message. Now we've decided this is a message I want to send. How do I put it in words that people can understand? And that's where the encoding. First of all, you have to also understand who's your audience, who is the receiver of the message, and what are they able to understand. If I would turn to you and say, okay, I want to speak to you about something, and as an adult and say, all right, today I want to talk about, listen real close, how anger can make you red face. Red. Do you know what the color red is? Can you show me a red color? Now, if I talk to you that way, like a toddler, it wouldn't be very long and you'd get ready to punch me in the face or say, will you stop it? Stop treating me like a little baby because I'm an adult. Well, you have to be able to be aware of what your communication skills are to the receiver of your message. That helps with the decoding. Sometimes we put words that maybe folks do not understand, or there could be a breakdown in that encoding process. When I first moved to the South from the North, I grew up in the Midwest. In Michigan, I'm a Michigander, but I grew up in Michigan, and when I first moved to the South and I went to a grocery store, somebody at the grocery store says, would you like a buggy? I go, what? Would you like a buggy? I go, what am I, in Amish country? What do you mean, buggy? A buggy to put your groceries in. A buggy? Oh, a shopping cart. Oh, yeah. I went down to the South when I was very, very young and asked for a pop. They go, what? A pop? You know, a pop. Your dad? No, I need a pop. Thirsty. Something to drink. In Michigan, we call sodas pop. Now, for years, I've been calling them sodas, soft drinks, because, you know, in the North, they're pop. In the South, they're sodas. Some places they're Coke. Everything's Coke. You know, you want Pepsi Coke, you want Coke, you want Dr. Pepper Coke. What? Everything's Coke. So there's the language barrier that takes place that you have to decode the message, the words that people can understand. You have to encode it. It is very important not to speak over their head and not speak under them and insult their intelligence, but speaking words they could understand. And sometimes there's language barriers. Sometimes there's language barriers, even though we're still speaking English. There's the Southern version and Northern version. There's the New England version, and there's the West Coast version of English. And there's times that we have to be concerned about what we're saying and what those words mean to different people. So the encoding of the message can be a problem. So we have to stop and say, is those words they could understand? Some of the jobs I worked in, when I worked in a managed care setting, if a letter was sent out to a member, and it had to be in the fourth grade or third grade reading level, and that was per contract. And when you look at letters and you're putting things down, to put it in words that a third grader, fourth grader could understand, there's programs that help you do that. There's certain words that they say, oh no, you got to change those words. When you're dealing with medical terminology, it's very difficult. But the language barrier, age, and also generational can make a difference. Economic system. There could be a lot of things barriers that break down the encoding. So sometimes I said this and you thought I said that. Okay, so is maybe some of your communication problems is you're not speaking the same language. Men and women speak different languages. All right. I put my mask on the other day and I says, does this mask make my beard look fat? All right. So there's certain things that you don't want to say to your wife because they'll take it wrong and vice versa. All right. So there's codes and things that you need to learn, and you learn it the hard way, guys. If you haven't learned it at all, there's a lot of things I've learned after 44 years of marriage. Is just don't even say it. Or if you say it in these words, because these other words will get you in trouble. Encode the message so it will be received. But it's the truth. And I want to speak the truth. And I've done morning moments before where I talk about speak the truth in love, and that's where the encoding comes through. And when you look at an email and you type in email all in caps, and then before you send it, you go, oh, that's a little harsh. I think I better calm that down or I'm going to get fired for sure. That's that still small voice that says, quick to listen, slow to speak. And encode it in words that are palatable, words that should put the filter on. And it could be that you're more interested in telling them your story or what you feel than their feelings. And it could be you need to back off and say, if you're really interested, let me just say this, if you're really interested in not making everybody angry about you, then maybe you should sit back and say, God, help me to speak in a way that is more palatable, more understanding to others. Help me to encode my messages so that people will listen to my message, because I'm so harsh that I can't say it. So encoding the message is a key piece in communication skills. All right, so we've talked about the part 3. Next week, we're going to continue the teaching on issues of communication skills. We'll, of course, go to part 4, and we'll talk about the message itself. Hey, thank you for joining me, and we will see you next week to continue this series. Thank you.